The American Institute of Architects Young Guns Recognition, given to Arizona Young Brightest Designers. Carlos actively participates as a volunteer on different organizations, including the Arizona Business and Education Coalition, the Scottsdale Unified School District, and the CSI. This year, Carlos represented the state of Arizona at the AIA Young Architects Forum Summit 200 in Washington, D.C. Please welcome Carlos Murrieta.
Hi, thank you very much everyone for coming in here. It's glad to see some friends, some faces. I'm going to try to go as fast as I can to try to make it in 15 minutes. So first of all, I want to give a recognition to my team. Every single architect that you see out there, you normally think about a name, a firm, a face, but there's a lot of people that is behind every single thing that we do. So I want to give this recognition to some of these guys. First of all, I want to start talking a little about the history. When I first came to Phoenix, I started seeing, some of the modern architecture, coming from the background in Mexico area with a lot of colors, volumes, starting to see different projects, and I started participating in some competitions and design proposals. One of these projects is, I'm going to show a few ones here that I created with that mentality. We're just trying to have nice, clean forms, going probably to some combination of Felix Candela with, some of the modern, more contemporary architects as Calatrava and so forth. This is a design project for Phoenix canopies. Some of these projects became a reality after proposing some of them. We were able to build them and see that this building actually happened. Some of them just are in the process, like this one right here. We're trying to, again, practice and create, clean forms and different material uses, simplification of things. While I was doing this type of small projects at the beginning, I was invited by a group of nuns from the Perpetual Clares of Adoration, and they came to the firm just to ask for a project that would be a medieval project, that will serve some of the purpose. I was lucky to travel to Europe, just part of the commission, for a couple of weeks, just to go and see some of the buildings, that they appreciated and that they really like, to kind of like, being known. So my first proposals were kind of like some schemes. In my mind, I was thinking, okay, medieval, but I will try to do a contemporary version of that medieval, some type of a mix. But at the end of the day, I was kind of like pushed over to, go back into this combination that was important for them as a client. So even though I was trying to do, contemporary architecture and more modern stuff, I ended up doing a project that, it kind of like complies with all of the requirements of this owner. I was lucky again, to work with some Italian carvers, and again, supervise some of this work in Germany. So it was a really interesting experience. Some of this work is presented in here. One of the nicest things about this project is that I was able to create this old medieval architecture, but at the same time use a system or a construction system that is more contemporary. So while we're trying to, kind of like mimic, some of the old architecture, we're using new technology and, new different ways to do things. The second project that I was lucky to participate in was the George Gardner Performing Arts Center. This building, we were commissioned with a specific requirement. They wanted to have an auditorium that would represent 4 cultures that happen in Holbrook, Arizona. This is the Anglo culture, the Navajo, the Hopi, and also the Hispanic. One of the biggest requirements was that this building, it was going to be a building for the entire community. It needed to have this property that each one of these cultures will feel that this building is their own. So, for example, something related to the Navajo culture, we created some shapes that are kind of representing a hogan. At the same time, we have some of the bright colors, in the lobbies and then some of the common spaces, that kind of like bring also a little of the Mexican or Hispanic culture, where I come from. And some of the other shapes, the plaza and, the round circles and some other ones represent some of the Hopi and also some of the Anglo. Into the inside of the auditorium, we try to simplify forms and make it as neutral as possible. One of the things in this auditorium is that we were able to calculate all of the acoustics, so people who are sitting on the back of the auditorium can hear you as the same as the one that is in front of you. And I welcome you to go and test this. It actually works, it's fascinating. This is some of their images. The auditorium by itself, wanted to be a little neutral, so whoever goes and presents there kind of like brings, the specific point of view for the presentation. Same as the gallery spaces that we have around the building, which are a little neutral. After working on this project, I started working a lot into the Navajo reservation. These are some of the projects that I was lucky to participate in, and as you can see, there are over close to 30 projects where I was involved in one way or another. So I was able to be traveling all the time. The people that know me, they know that I'm always up there somewhere. So these are some of the examples, the projects that I started participating with SPS, getting involved in one way or another. And in each one of these projects, I was able to learn a little about the different aspects of culture. Some of these projects were really utilitarian. Some other projects were more like more for the development of the same people of the community. But as I was traveling, I was able to see all of this different world and a different aspect of the United States. When I came here first, I wasn't kind of like totally aware that all of this was happening. So I was really captivated, by all of the essence of the Navajo culture. After that, my first project that I participated in was the Cameron Chapter House. This project was a really simple project. It was pretty much all related around a Hogan shape and the use of sustainability and some of materials, like earth block, which is something that they really were looking for. And I was, of course, pleased, to know that them as a culture, we're trying to look for some of these materials and these different things, that we normally don't do. Some of the images in here show some of the interiors of this facility that has, wood exposed structure, and some open areas with windows and things like that, and all around this Hogan shape. I was lucky also as well to, get connected to this group of people from Shanto. This group of people has been really kind of like taking the lead into the Navajo Nation. They are actually one of the first chapters that were certified. And when they're saying certified, that means that these guys are pretty much like separated from what the whole Navajo Nation is all about. And they can do their own decisions and make their own rules, their own taxation. It's like a little different country for them there. These guys, wanted to create pretty much a first piece of work that will become a complex of, governmental services for all of the Navajo region that were surrounding them. The first project and the first ideas were that they wanted this building to kind of like emanate from the ground. So we started using some technologies and approaches. Since we worked recently on earth blocks, we just moved really easy into probably proposing ramp earth construction. This building is around 47,000 square feet facility. We're planning to start construction of this one early on this summer, which I'm really excited about. And all of the facility, as you can see, is all ram earth. We have interiors inside that are flexible enough that we can modify as all of the progress and the needs of the building happen. There's areas for remote learning center, professional development of the Navajos. We have common areas for the youth. So this is kind of like a piece, that is intended to be an example or kind of like a stone, a first stone into the development of the future projects for this group in Shanto. This is an aerial view of the facility, which is, kind of like located, as I mentioned, as a centerpiece. As we were working with Shanto, they pretty much got excited about the project and they commissioned us with another next project. We're actually working on this project as we speak here, and this was pretty much around this grass concept. That area is so arid, there's not many vegetation, but there's a lot of grass that you see everywhere. So we started working with a conceptual sketch, just to try to create this gallery and artist plaza. This project, it's intended to share some of the Navajo culture to all of the travelers that are coming from Europe. If you travel to that region, you will be surprised to see how many, French people and German people, and people from all over the world are visiting Monument Valley or the Grand Canyon or Antelope Canyon. So this facility in here is created with the intention to bring that people so that they can stay here maybe for a week or two and learn all of the Navajo way, probably cooking, weaving, some of the ceramics. So there are actually workshops that are created around this, plaza circle that you can actually go and you see how the jeweler is creating this jewelry. And that will create an interaction between all of the cultural aspects and the people. The complete project is kind of like a master plan. This is kind of like a phase one of this facility, which includes, as I mentioned, the Artisan Travel Plaza, but also includes a gas station, a convenience store, a small restaurant, and there are some other future projects that are attaching to this same concept that we have. One of the important things that they were looking for was to create an iconic building. So as you think of the Navajo Nation, when you think Monument Valley and some of the areas over there, you can also think about this building, as one of the key points. It's kind of like a first node of connection between all of these future, path and travel that they're planning to create. After that project, this competition, the Navajo Cotaques Museum. First thinking about the concept behind of the Navajo Cotaques, all know, for several years, war actually veterans after of their the war. The original concept, my side, my thinking, was two faces that were yelling. Some of these Navajo words, permitted, for some, you can see happy faces, This faces are thinking of through a system that a long time ago. If you probably know the Sky Dome over the Flagstaff Dome at 80 was created with the note by Dr. Wendell, which we have the patent for. And with this intending to create that will be connected between them. Each one of these spheres, see the different levels of the museum where you will be able to walk and travel, get all of this connected, different close to you. A sphere, mechanical, piping. At the same time, one of the things as you will travel to this facility, approach to a point where these Navajo words. Some of those Navajo words say Belazana, apple, and they were pretty much ornate, for example. Simple words, but code created by what we were intending to travel inside this. We'll be seeing all of this different. It can be also seen the outside. So the lecture, different create this complete museum, different experiences from the road, kind of like far away. This project was the last year is going redesign alternative facility. And with that, again, our projects, and if you have any to answer them. No, this kitchen actually it was all created for the submittal was supposed to be concepts were selected, some of them conceptual concept, but actually not even an architect, more like a logo or this is decided that they need to advertise this again. It will happen again here, so we'll copy my ideas. Nice one. Very much.
Carlos. Fascinating project. There is so beautiful, isn't it?